Hi, hello. How are you doing? My internet is super rubbish at the moment, so I am going to move, hoping that the internet connectivity is better. How are you? So today's problem that I want to come and talk on and give you some insights around is how to feel more confident when you're selling. This is a problem that a lot of my clients have, a lot of people in my audience experience, and it's definitely one that I experienced earlier on in my business as well, because the sales mindset it takes to sell yourself and your services is very different than if you're employed and you have been selling somebody else's. It's a totally different shift. So I wanted to help you with it. The reason why this is a problem in your business is that you have to be making sales to create money, because money and cash flow is the oxygen of your business. Without it, you don't have a business. So it's really important to solve this, to solve the mindset problem, and to get to work feeling really confident. Because when you're confident selling, it's a game changer. When you're confident to sell your offer to people, you can make money and you can know you can create money as and when you want. Sounds really fun, sounds really cool, and it is. So let's talk about how to shift that problem. So what is this problem and how does it show up? So the way it normally shows up is that you try and skip the selling part altogether. Maybe you've been looking at funnels, maybe you're looking at automations, selling to many via email, application process, a way of taking out you from the selling equation. And the reason to not do this, there's a couple of reasons to not do this, and I'm going to share with you my take on this. So, first reason not to do this is that it doesn't solve the problem. It just means you're skipping a really crucial part in your business that is going to set you up for success in the long term. Because when you solve it, when you understand how to feel confident selling, you can then apply it through all the different ways that you sell, whether that's one-to-one on a phone call, whether it's through emails, whether it's through direct messages or your content. So it doesn't solve the initial problem of not feeling confident selling, which is really important to solve because it's going to set you up for so much more business success further on down the road. The second reason to not skip this, to not skip the part where you are actively selling to another person, is that the practice you get and the in the moment feedback that you get from having that experience with a real life customer is going to be so powerful to put into the rest of your content, to put into your programs, to put into the way that you market, because you cannot get that kind of information in the moment, real time feedback on your offer through market research. It's just a completely different experience. So, first reason to do it is that you'll get better at selling when you sell in person. Second reason to do it is you're going to get really good practice and you're going to get so much more information that can go into making your business better and to get you faster results in the long run when you have a sales element that is you speaking to another person in real life or on Zoom or on a phone call, however way you want to do it, which you just don't get with an application process. You just never get to the understanding the objections, you never get to uncover what's going on for your clients, so you never get to solve for it. You just don't get the sale and you're left wondering what happened. So those are the reasons to really get good at this and to understand why it's a problem. If you don't have a part of your sales process, that's you speaking to someone actively selling. So why is it a problem when we don't feel confident to sell? Number one, we're tempted to skip it, and that's bad for those reasons. Number two is you're missing opportunities that are all around you every single day. So your best clients are around you all the time. You just don't know that. You just don't believe it and you're just not seeing it right now. And this is part of my philosophy when I coach my clients is we go through that mindset shift to know that their best clients are right under their nose. They just didn't know it and they just weren't speaking to them in a way that was compelling for them. So you're missing opportunity when you don't feel confident to sell. you're not showing up and you're not showing people what to do to work with you. So you're missing opportunity. You're leaving so much money on the table, and you're probably staying at a lower income than you want to, than if you were confident to sell, you'd be making so much more money. So it's really simple. It's a very good thing to tackle. It's a very good problem to solve, because once it's solved, it's always solved. You can't go back to feeling unconfident selling once you master these skills. So let's talk about how you can feel great and confident to sell, so you can have a sales conversation, so you can lead a sales conversation, so you can feel like safe and comfortable in you as you're doing that, so you can be of the highest value to your client, and so you can make money. That's what we're here for. So there's a 3-step process that I'm going to share with you today. Step 1 is very much what we've been talking about so far. It's about shifting your sales mindset from I'm getting something from my client, they're giving me money, I'm getting their money, and they're leaving with the worst part of the bargain. Because that's essentially what you're thinking to yourself, why you might feel icky, why you might feel not confident, why you don't want to have those conversations, because there's something in you that thinks you're getting something off them instead of them getting an amazing bargain, them getting something incredible that they really, really want. Because if you believed that, you wouldn't have hesitation in selling. You would be very, very keen to sell, because you know that they would get something that they really want. So it's all about shifting your sales mindset from you getting to you giving, you being of service and you being valuable for your client. Think of it this way: if you don't sell to them, they can't get what they need. It's as simple as that. If you don't sell, if you don't make an offer, if you don't invite them to take the next step, your client stays stuck in their problem that they're having and they don't get it solved. And that's not what you want. So step 1 is the sales mindset shift. Step 2 is focus on how your solution does that. How does what you offer solve their problem? How is your process helping your clients? List out 10 ways that working with you will be good for them. 10 ways that your clients benefit when they work with you. Really take your mind there. This may take practice. This may be something that you do every single day. It might be something that you have to kind of retrain your mind to naturally go to. If you've been in the place of, I don't want to make sales, because part of you doesn't believe in the value, or part of you is very hesitant to have that conversation because something's not lining up. That's kind of what's happening when you're feeling really unconfident selling. There's just something that's not lining up, and it's really good to know what that is so you can dig in, and that's just kind of where you have to focus your mind, and that's what you need to solve. Then you'll feel more confident. It sounds very simple, but it's just something that is not lining up with your client, what they need, how you offer it, what you offer it, and then what you deliver. Those 4 things. So go to town on what are the 10 ways that working with me is amazing. What are the 10 benefits my clients get? How do I help my clients every single day? And this could be in your imagination right now. It doesn't have to be evidence. It doesn't have to be all of your past experience, because when you're newer and you haven't had lots and lots of clients, that doubt, that uncertainty will be there, and that is all right. You can still sell knowing that you've taken time to think it through, that you have really taken time to solve those, what you think are the problems that are going to come up and how you would solve them. You can be confident of that. You can have control of that. Even if you've not, taken 20 people through your process, you can still say, I've sat down and I have used myself as an example. I've done all the things that I've kind of marked where I got stuck and marked where I failed, and I've solved that for myself. So I'm very confident that I can solve it for you too. So that's where I want you to redirect your mind if you're feeling not confident to sell, just go to that list of what are the 10 ways that I help my client, how are 10 things that they're going to be able to do that they couldn't do if they don't work with me. I really want you to be solid on that. That will help clear up so much. It will help clear up confusion, and it will also just had a notice on my internet being rubbish. I'll carry on and see how we're doing. Oh no, but oh, it's still working. Okay, so that's number two. Just focus on what you can control and how you can troubleshoot to provide your client the thing that they need. Really, really understand that for yourself. Then the third thing to take yourself through is understanding that there is a framework for you to follow. There are guidelines that you can rest on, as it were, that you can use to support you. You don't have to make this up. You don't have to have a sales conversation and be like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just making this stuff up. There is a process, there is a framework that you can use to support you. So I teach something called the Empowered Sales Framework, which is a 5-step process to guide you on the different parts of the selling conversation, how to be in that conversation so you can be the authority, so you can take responsibility for it, so you're not letting your client just run off and talk about their life for 3 hours and you're not guiding the conversation. So there is a framework and there are tools that you can use. So leading with a blend of authority and compassion and understanding is always going to be a winning formula. So if you haven't worked with me, if you don't want to spend time working through the 5-step framework, if that's not a thing that you want to do, go and have a look at lots of these other ones, because I didn't make it up. It's in sales training all around the world. I trained in this. I've had various different sales trainings throughout my career, and I've devised this framework from all of those teachings. So it's very simple, but it works in creating a framework for you to take yourself and take your client through, so you have something to come back to, so you don't have to feel like you're on your own doing it and getting lost and getting confused and getting stuck, because there are different steps that you have to take people through. So learning that is super handy, and I'm going to share that with you here. I'm just concerned about my internet because it seems to be messing up a lot, but I'm just gonna hope, fingers crossed, it goes okay. So the 5 steps are: you need to listen. sounds really basic, but it's often the most basic things that we're not doing, and that when we do them, suddenly the game changes. So listen, understand where your client is at, really understand where they want to be. What is their A, as in what's point A and what is point Z, where do they want to get to? Understanding that for your clients and being actively listening for the things that are happening for them, so that you can start to troubleshoot and understand where your solution fits in. So the first one is listen. The second one is, actually no, I got it wrong myself. First one is connect. You have to connect into your client first and have that understanding. Create the space, be authoritative but also warm. That's connection with another human being. Second one is listen, understand where they are now and where they want to get to. The third one is you want to show. You want to not just tell them kind of how your solution would fit into place, how that would work. You want to show them. You want to give examples of how that might look for them, what that might be like in their life if they were to work with you, how you would go about solving this problem, and then what it would look like. Then the fourth is allow. Allow them to have any questions. Allow them to come up with, yes, but what if, how about this? I have this certain set of situation happening and I can't do this. Allow all and any questions to come up, and then ask. So often, and when I coach my clients and we get really specific about their sales process, there's just one step missing. And when we solve for that step, for example, it could be as easy as asking a question to which they can say yes or no to. It sounds really simple, but when you include something like that can make all the difference in your sales process. So those are my 3 broad steps of how to get more confident selling. Number 1, shift that sales mindset. Really understand that your client, you're not getting something off your clients, you're not taking something off them, you are delivering value in exchange, value that they want. So such a different shift. Second is focus on how you do deliver that result to them and list out all the ways you help your clients and why they want it. And then the third one is just learning a basic framework that will help to guide you. Those 3 things put together will increase your sales confidence so you can go out and speak to somebody and get on a sales call with them and have the conversation that's going to create a result for you. So I really want that for you. So any questions on this, please let me know. If you want to dive into this more and have an hour of my time where we walk through your specific business, your specific selling area and what's going on for you, so that I can see what is happening now, why it's happening, and how to solve it, so that you go away knowing exactly what to do in your business to make more money, then please reach out. Let's book that time. It's an hour long and you'll get the actionable steps you can take today to go out and actually solve that, so you can start signing some clients and make more money. So let's do it. All right, send me a message, just comment below and we will schedule a time and we'll have that conversation. Bye, have a great day.